Hello everyone. Today we are going to do something a little different. I'm going to start doing my own tier list videos. And since this will be the first one, I decided to do on all the classic Sonic games because I have mostly every single one that thanks to Origins. So, and also from the one classic Sega collection or whatever. So without further ado, let's just start the tier list up so we don't, have to explain much. I think you know how a tier list works. So we have the best game, great game, good game, not bad, terrible, and didn't play, which is just the games I haven't played. And sadly, Knuckles Chaos is playing on this one. But I heard some things about the game, so if I have Knuckles Chaos, I might do an update on this, but maybe. Right? Okay, so we're starting off with Sonic the Hedgehog 1. Now, Sonic the Hedgehog 1 is actually a pretty good game. For the couple of levels from Green Hill Zone and Starlight Zone. The others are bad or mediocre at best. And we all know what zones I'm talking about. But this game is pretty legendary as it was the first Sonic game to be created. I mean, if you're not counting 8-bit, which we'll cover up soon, but the special stages were dizzy, but I mean, still a good thing. So I'm just gonna say this is a good or okay. Before I place this down, just let you know this is my opinion, and you could have your own opinion, and you could do your own tier list. But for the sake of the how this one game create a whole franchise, I'll put it in a great tier. Just start it off, eh? Okay, and of course we're starting off with game release. So yeah, so next we gotta start off with Sonic the Hedgehog 1 8-bit. Now 8-bit is definitely not going higher than Sonic 1 because even though this game is kind of special as it does actually include 3 new zones, but the zones that they pick up the return in this game are the Green Hill Zone were pretty terrible choices. I mean, Lava Zone and Scrap Brain Zone as the other two returning zones. Seriously? And also, one of the new zones is literally just a giant bridge. I mean, that could be sound like kind of creative on some people, but I mean, that's just a terrible idea for a zone. So, for the sake of this, we're putting this in not bad, but not greatest. Next up, we got, of course, the next Sonic game, which is Sonic the Hedgehog 2 8-bit. Now, I feel like this is actually a bit better than a bit though better than the original Sonic 1 8-bit because there is actually way more zone ideas, and it's not just a copy of Sonic 2 from the 16-bit. It's actually its own story where we have to rescue Tails. So for story alone, it's kind of the same as Mario's, but I mean, for its time, it's probably been a very good game and a good way to introduce Tails before the newer Sonic 2, but the boss fights were unique, and also was the first time we ever seen a Mecha Sonic robot, technically. But the final zone, Scramble Egg Zone, it's way unreasonably difficult because of its chancing. So if it wasn't a chance based level, then it would have been going higher than good game. But just for the sake of this, I'm playing this in not bad. Right next to better than Sonic 1 8-bit, but not better than yeah. Okay. Okay, now we're starting with better games. Now we got Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And I don't know what I can say about Sonic the Hedgehog 2 as it's very popular, but Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is a good sequel game, in my opinion. The one bad side about sequels most times in games is that it gets terrible most times, but the games back then that got sequels were good. Of course, Mario 3 is one good example of that, But for Sonic the Hedgehog 2, of course we have the fact that there's multiple new zones that were unique. Okay, mine's Emerald Hill Zone, but you get the point, Of course, Chemical Plant Zone, Ocean Zone, which is Casino Night, Hilltop, which is kind of just a reskin Emerald Hill, but Mythic Cave, Metropolis Zones, Wing Fortress, Death Egg. I mean, the zone itself was pretty bland because there's only 2 boss fights, but still, point is, and also, this is also the first game to introduce Super Sonic, which of course become a very big thing in later games. So you would just for all the sakes of the history and also how good the game can be itself, I'll put Sonic the Hedgehog 2 in best game. Next up, we got. Let's see. I think next up is going to be Sonic Chaos, because I think this game came out before Sonic CD, so Sonic Chaos. What do I have to say about Sonic Chaos? It's kind of the same as Sonic 2 8-bit, but it actually has one big inclusion. You actually play as Tails for the first time in this game, which is surprising. If you're, well, actually, this is like the first 8-bit game you play as Tails. I don't know. I don't remember you play as Tails in Sonic like a 2 in the original Genesis, because I have like the Sonic Origins version, so as I can't say, but this is still a pretty I mean it's pretty much a better 8-bit game because it doesn't have the chance stuff from Sonic 2 8-bit, so again, the point isn't not bad. I might as well change the name to not bad to 8-bit at this point, considering the fact all the 8-bit games are just going not bad, so okay. Now we move on to Sonic CD, another one of the big history games, as it introduced two new characters which are pretty much more popular, debatable, which are Amy Rose and Metal Sonic. And of course, I'm going to give out to say that the zones here were, look, most of them were pretty mediocre. I mean, Pop Pack, Star Speedway, and I guess Battalion Magnet Zone was good, but then we have zones like Wacky Wharf Bents, and some other regular ones that were just either just reskins of some other zones or just terrible. So, but the boss fights were pretty, but not the greatest too, except for other than Metal Sonic's boss fight. This game boss fights were pretty mediocre again. So I think I'm placing this a good game. I mean, no, yeah, placing this is a good game because even though it was pretty big, story wise, it's pretty mediocre, especially with the fact that the whole time travel mechanic can be seen as tedious sometimes, just trying to search all the zones just to find sticking generators and Metal Sonic holograms. So, yeah. Sorry, Sonic CD, but you're going a good game. Okay, next up. Oh. We got two Sonic 3s for some reason. Apparently, one is supposed to be Sonic and Knuckles, so I think I'm just gonna go focus on the first. I'm just gonna say this half right here is Sonic and Knuckles, or Sonic 3 and Knuckles, or Sonic 3, and the Japanese cover art is supposed to be Sonic and Knuckles, so. Okay, so what do I have to say about Sonic 3? I would say Sonic 3 is pretty big as is like the first game to introduce Knuckles as a character. Also, I think all the zones except for Marvel Garden Zone, which is good. Angel Island, Hydro City, Carnival Night, Ice Cap, and like a launch base were all pretty good zones actually. Even though it does actually some really like to focus on going underwater most times, it is still a pretty big game, and the boss fights were good, and also Big Arm. Oh my goodness, that final boss, man, that was difficult back then. I mean, no, I didn't play the original Genesis games. I do obviously like happen to watch people play it, but I'm a little upset that Super Sonic can't is still immortal in the Origins version of Big Arm. So for placement, I'm putting this in great game. It's not the best game, but it's still better than Sonic 1. Sonic and Knuckles. You know what? I'm putting both Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic 3 in best tier, just so I don't upset fans, because this game was literally a combined game. And also, Sonic and Knuckles actually have some good zones as well. We have, of course, Mushroom Hill Zone, Flying Battery, let's see, Lava Reef Zone, Ice Sky Century Zone, and Death Egg. And of course, there's the mediocre zone in this game, which is Santropolis. But still, though. And of course, some of the boss fights were also good. Of course, the final boss, Doomsday, and of course, Mecha Sonic, or the version 2, we see. Oh, and of course, it's also the one only appearance of Hypersonic, which is kind of odd, but yeah, maybe someday, I don't know, maybe someday someone at Sega is going to suggest bringing back Hypersonic, and it will be cool, but since that's probably never going to happen, Yeah, I might as well just accept that. So anyway, so now we have Sonic Blast and Sonic. Yeah, okay. First off, I'm just gonna post Sonic Blast and Terrible. I know. Yeah, before some big fan of this game go demand on me, believe me, I actually played this game, the first zone, and I instantly quit because of how terrible it was. The sprite work was terrible, and also the game itself is just mediocre at best. I can't really find a good placement because Sonic Blast is just not a good game. Sorry, but now we have Sonic Triple Trouble. Okay. So this is pretty much the same thing as most of the other 8-bit games, but it doesn't include a very popular character. Well, for fans, not Sega for some reason, which stars Fang the Sniper or Knock the Weasel for some people. And as it seems, Sonic Triple Trouble is a good game, but I mean, not even a best game, or it's just beyond decent. Because I like the fact that the idea of the game is to have like multiple different versions of or different villains in this game was pretty good. And also, I'm not just saying it because this game did got a remade of the better game, but if we're counting that as its own thing, I feel like this game is just going to be a good game. In case you're wondering, if we also be counting the 16 version of Sonic Triple Trouble, it will be going to best game as well, but since it's not really a fizzle, we're just gonna bleed out the game. Next up, we got Sonic 3D Blast. I mean, it's literally the first attempt at making a 3D Sonic game, and to be honest, even though it isn't the best game out there, it's still not bad. I mean, it's still their first attempt, and heck, if this game never happened, then maybe Sonic Adventure would have been like a more terrible focused game, I guess. But oh, now we're having the best game out there. Sonic Mania is going in the of course best game. I mean, what can you say about this game that have already been said? Remix zones, new boss fights. Heck, even a DLC that include 2 new characters, which are Mighty and Ray. Actually, I'm kind of surprised Sega Sonic wasn't really included in this, but if it, I obviously played it, never did play it because I haven't played the game before as well because arcade exclusive and all that. But anyway, where was I gonna say? Right? Yeah, all right. Of course, the new zones that are being let's see. Of course, we got Salasa Room, Tectonic Monarchs, Doodoo Opera Zone, Press Garden Zone. And also, we got some awesome remix zones. Of course, Chemical Blind Zone, Flying Battery, Green Hill, Oil Ocean Zone. I mean, Oil Ocean Zone was not the best zone, but Mania completely changed that. So, for what is it? It's of course going at best game. So, yeah, this is my official tier list. We have in best game, which is Sonic Mania, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Sonic and Knuckles, even though it's the Japanese Sonic 3 art, which is strange. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and great game, we just have Sonic 1. Good game, we got Sonic CD and Sonic Triple Trouble. And not bad, we got Sonic Chaos, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 8-bit, Sonic the Hedgehog 1 8-bit, Sonic 3D Blast. And terrible, we have Sonic Blast. And it's and in Didn't Played, we have Knuckles Chaotix. And if we're counting Sonic, and also, I don't really know how to edit, but just pretend it's like a picture of the arcade Sonic game as well, because that was technically also part of the classic era. So this is my official tier list, and guys, I'm not gonna do a tier list on the Mario games in the Adventure era because one, that's a lot of games, and two, I don't really have most of them. The only one I do have is Sonic Generations, Colors, Forces, Frontiers, and I guess technically also that's never mind. What I was going to say there because yeah, you get the point. There's not a lot of Sonic games I can technically cover because if it was, most of the games would be dead played. So until maybe in the future I could do another one of these tier lists, which will be all the Sonic characters on it, and not every character. By the way, I'm not doing because first off that'll take too long, and second we're just going to focus on the main game. So if a character from Archie Sonic or Sonic Underground or Sonic X appeared in the list, it can't just go in the list, alright? That's just it, eh? Well, that's everything I had to say. I hope you like and subscribe, turn on notifications and check out my newest video, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.